Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
And first, new video shows the moments after a tree broke inside the San Antonio Zoo right as families were visiting for spring break.
At least 7 people were hurt when that tree broke unexpectedly just after noon. The San Antonio Fire Department confirmed that one of the injured guests was taken to the hospital as a priority 1. Now, that usually means the patient suffered a life-threatening injury.
The other 6 guests taken to the hospital as a precaution, but details on their injuries have not been released. Here is the view from Sky 12 as crews work to clean up the large piece of that fell. This is toward the back of the zoo near the Birds of the World and Wild Australia exhibits.
Our hearts right now go out to the family. It's such an unfortunate circumstance, but spring break is definitely in full effect here at the zoo, and it was a very busy day with lots of people walking, enjoying the zoo.
Now, that's Hope Roth with the zoo, and she says that because it's spring break, the zoo is fully staffed. She says that security and in-house EMS workers were able to quickly respond to the guests, so that is good. But when you look at that impact or that tree, geez, that's a big one.
A lot of that happened in the hill country, and it's kind of surprising that it happened downtown, but it may have been the weather and all that ice. The tree just finally gave way. Speaking
of, we're getting a live look right now, or we just got a live look. 71 degrees out there right now, and, you know, calm. We got some overcast, Sarah. We talked about this, but, you know, it's definitely going to change tomorrow.
It's been the theme, and it's looking like the coldest day might be the start of what's supposed to be spring.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Take a look at the cold front right now. The cold front is currently working its way through the Rocky Mountains. This is going to be making it to San Antonio tomorrow night, and it's going to be bringing big impacts with it. Let's talk about the impactful weather timeline, what you need to know. Storms will be moving through Thursday night when damaging winds are going to be possible. We have a severe thunderstorm risk Thursday night. Then behind that front, it is going to be windy and cold on Friday. We'll have wind gusts of up to 40 miles per hour. Wind chills by Friday morning are going to be in the 30s, so break out that jacket again. And then to continue, we'll have a longer extended period of cold into the weekend, and as was mentioned, Monday, which is when spring officially starts, could actually be our coldest day in the forecast when highs struggle to get out of the 40s. I'll show you a detailed look at the futurecast timeout when those storms are going to be moving through and talk about the potential for damaging winds as well as hail in just a bit.
Thank you, Sarah. More safety measures and change. That is the goal for the family of a woman killed 3 years ago. Now, Pollyanna Smotherman's sister wants to protect convenience store employees like the sister she called Pam. Erica Hernandez explains how she hopes to change the state law.
It's been almost 3 years since Pollyanna Pam Smotherman's murder. Pam was working alone at the Easy Mart in Garden Ridge on July 29, 2020, when a still unidentified suspect walked in, shot her, and left with an undisclosed amount of money and lottery tickets.
And that's what I'm trying to do, is prevent any further harm or death for these convenience store employees.
Pam's sister, Harriet Riemann, has written to local, state, and federal lawmakers to see if anyone can help push legislation that would better protect convenience store employees. Of all the emails and letters she sent, she has received no response.
But why can I not get in touch with lawmakers for something that's actually doable and foreseeable for the protection of those that serve us?
Riemann says she would like to see convenience stores close at a certain hour or add a teller-like drawer to the outside so people can't walk in after a certain time, and add bulletproof-like areas for the employees to work in. And she wants lawmakers to know she's not giving up.
I think of my sister every day before I go to bed. I have her pictures right outside on the wall, and every day I look at her and I just tell her I'm not going to quit.
As far as Pam's case, it remains unsolved. Anyone with information can call the Garden Ridge Police Department or the Comal County Crime Stoppers at 830-620-TIPS. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
People moving to a new apartment after a fire left damage to 6 units at a Northwest Side complex. Firefighters responded to the scene just before 11 on Northwest Loop 410 near Bandera Road. When they arrived, evacuations were already underway. Fire officials say the fire seemed to have started between the first and second floors. Heavy smoke could be seen from the second floor, and once the fire was out, the units were left with both fire and water damage. The cause of the fire unknown. The people displaced will be moving into a sister property.
More than 9 months after the shooting at Robb Elementary, we are still asking the Department of Public Safety to release records. And this time, the families of the victims are the ones making the request. They're asking a court to get DPS to release them. An attorney representing 6 of the victims' families filed a plea to a state district judge this week in Austin. The families are pushing for the records because they're at the center of an ongoing lawsuit that's been filed against the state agency by multiple media organizations. By the way, KSAT also a part of that lawsuit. However, DPS officials refused to release them, citing a pending investigation exemption.
A deadly dog attack and a nuisance home. The house in the 2800 block of Deplis Street was already well known to neighbors before 2 of the dogs that lived there mauled an elderly man to death and then sent other people to the hospital. Now,
Garrett Berger tells us the city of San Antonio wants to tackle nuisance neighbors and also beef up its enforcement of aggressive dogs.
In less than 3 years, City Manager Eric Walsh says there were 114 calls to 911 and 42 calls to 311 related to this house on Deplis Street. Most of the calls were low-level priority calls, but in aggregate, they point to a larger community safety concern, he wrote in a memo to City Council members on Wednesday. So, he says, the city is working on a program to tackle homes with high call volumes like that. How isn't entirely clear yet. Well, city staff will lay out their proposal at an April budget discussion session for City Council. But that house is best known as the home of the 2 dogs that brutally mauled an elderly man to death in February. Now, Walsh says the city's Animal Care Services Department is making changes to reduce the risk of bites and aggressive dogs. Owners of dogs that are off-leash and off-property when they bite someone will be given criminal citations, not civil ones. And most of the 103 designated dangerous dogs in the city, whose owners have to follow extra rules, aren't in compliance, many because of serious issues having to do with safety. Walsh said ACS has worked with the municipal courts to schedule hearings so they can resolve cases over the next few months. The city manager says ACS will also focus on dogs that have multiple bite cases and areas with lots of calls for bites and aggressive dogs. ACS is expected to provide an update to its strategic plan at the next council briefing session, a week from today. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
The deadline for the Texas Rent Relief Program is tomorrow. We first told you about the story yesterday. Originally, the deadline was March 28th, but due to high demand and more applicants than funding, the deadline now tomorrow before noon. For those applying for the first time, you could get up to 18 months of rent and utility help with either past, current, or future bills. For details on how you can sign up online or by phone, head over to KSAT.com.
So this is a tranquilizer medication for large animals. We're talking horses, even elephants, but now they're finding it in illegal drugs. First in the Northeast, now we're seeing it down here in the southern states. The drug is almost always found mixed with fentanyl. Courtney Friedman tells us about the terrifying side effect that's leaving people dead or with amputated limbs.
A tranquilizer for large animals is being cut with fentanyl and sold across America. Xylazine, known on the street as Trank, is highly addictive and incredibly dangerous.
When people inject it, which a lot of people, that's the way they use their fentanyl, it's very caustic to the tissues. And so it tends to cause sores. It spreads very quickly. You can get necrotic areas, and that's when you start hearing about amputation.
Shannon Weir is the chief nursing officer at Gallus Detox Centers in 3 different states, including Texas. She says some people don't realize they're taking xylazine, but since it prolongs the effects of opioids, many people actually go looking for it. Testing for xylazine at detox centers isn't standard yet, but many coroner's offices, as well as the DEA, are testing for it.
The amounts that they are finding when they do test are starting to skyrocket.
Regional DEA data from 2021 shows in the southern states there were over 1,400 overdose deaths involving xylazine, which is over 1,000% higher than the year before.
Narcan, which is used to reverse opioid overdoses, does not work with xylazine because it's not an opioid, but because 98% of the time it is mixed with fentanyl, you're still supposed to administer Narcan when someone is overdosing.
Weir is working to get xylazine testing at Gallus Centers, and meanwhile wants to educate the public as well as other addiction specialists to look for sores and much heavier withdrawals that include cognitive issues. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
So now we got to talk about recalls. Honda recalling almost 500,000 vehicles because of a seatbelt problem. The issue is the driver and front passenger seat. Those seatbelts aren't latching properly, but the automaker says that they haven't received reports of injuries just yet. It says it's going to send impacted owners a letter in the mail starting April 17th. If you want a list of all of the affected models that are affected by the recall, head on over to KSAT.com.
Still coming up, California is still under a state of emergency, this time for floods and mudslides. The efforts rescue emergency teams are making, still fighting to save people's lives.
Now South by Southwest continues the party, and this time it features local R&B talent from San Antonio. They're bringing our city's rhythm and blues scene right to Austin.
And TransGuide I-35 at Loop 410, still slow going. It was slow going at 5, now it's slow going at 6. Apparently there is a ramp up ahead that is closed. So if you are headed over that direction, you might want to detour.
All right, here's a look at what we're working on for you on the Night Beat. Peaches, let's talk peaches. Yes, they're a staple of Fredericksburg and the Texas Hill Country, also delicious. But here's the thing, changes in rain patterns are really providing a challenge for the farmers there. Tonight, you're going to see how an area farm is planning for future droughts. That and so much more for you tonight on the Night Beat.
Love some Fredericksburg peaches.
Oh, yeah.
A San Antonio R&B duo taking the stage at this year's South by Southwest Music Festival.
And it's pretty exciting. You know, they're part of hundreds of artists from around the world that are performing in several Austin venues this week.
KSAT's RJ Marquez and Andrew Wilson in Austin with a look at how the San Antonio group is taking their soul sound to the festival.
All right, so we have taken you inside the Creative Industries Expo here at the Austin Convention Center for all things tech and innovation. We also got you onto the red carpet for one of the big film premieres here at South by Southwest. But of course, Austin is one of the live music capitals of the world. And now the music festival will be taking over this city. And one of the featured artists include a R&B duo from San Antonio. Let's introduce you to Mojo Family.
Let's go. Me and Easy went to high school together. You know, when he moved from New Orleans to San Antonio, you know, we were just classmates. We started, I think, recording back in 2002, 2003, somewhere around there. Got a chance to get signed with Matthew Knowles and Music World. The name, we were trying to display that we were more than the average Joe. So that's how we got the name.
And Trey says that combining the San Antonio soul with some inspiration from the New Orleans area gives Mojo Family their unique sound.
Our music consists of jazz, it consists of blues, rock, you know, all those genres that are popular. So we just try to put that in one big gumbo pot and mix the R&B and soul and hip hop together. You know, it feels great, especially with San Antonio on our back, and you know, we definitely want to show the world that, you know, San Antonio has something to say for sure.
And if you want to participate in this year's music festival here at South by, all you got to do is head over to our website. We have a full list of free concerts. Yes, free concerts that you could attend this year at South by Southwest. And don't forget to check out our live streams on our KSAT YouTube page. Reporting from downtown Austin, RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
All right, outside, Sky 12 showing us the Alamo Dome. Of course, that is the home of the XFL San Antonio Brahmas. That's where they play their home games. And VIA has just announced that they're going to be providing park and ride services to those home games. The service is $1.30 one way. If you'd like some more information, just head over to our website, KSAT.com. That's a good price.
Yeah,
$1.30.
that is pretty good. And you don't have to worry about getting a ride otherwise, you know, parking, stuff like that. Good deal. All right, so you see it right here, 71 degrees, and we keep talking about this. Really, the day that we're looking at, Sarah, is tomorrow. So we've got plenty of time to prepare for the changes that we're going to see tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night is when we're going to see the front move through. Tomorrow night but will probably be a noisy night for many folks as we're expecting a line of storms moving through. Some things to do to prepare right now. If you have any lightweight patio furniture, maybe bring it in tomorrow or just make sure it's really anchored down for those storms move in around midnight or so. Let's show you where that system is right now. You can see it's working its way through the Rockies. A lot of rainfall and some snow up in parts of the Dakotas. As I take you through the future cast, again, again, most of the day tomorrow is mainly just going to be mild and humid. There is the potential for a few showers in the early morning hours, so about 30% chance for a few isolated showers. This is a snapshot at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Again, you can see that is a possibility. But as we head into the afternoon, we're actually going to start to see some sun. Some rain for our eastern counties, but in San Antonio, we'll see some sun, and it's actually going to be a warm day. Here's a look at Thursday's forecast. Waking up at 65 tomorrow, 30% coverage of a few showers. Around noon, we'll start to see some sun, be in the 70s, 80 degrees for the high. Tomorrow's going to be a pretty quiet day other than that chance for a few morning showers. It's in the evening that things are going to change. That's when we'll have our first impact that you really need to pay attention to. Storms Thursday night, and with those storms, damaging wind gusts are going to be possible. Let's take you through the futurecast for Thursday night. This is a snapshot at 7 p.m. on Thursday. While it's sunny here in San Antonio, Dallas-Fort Worth will be dealing with severe weather. Then by 11 p.m., the hill country will start to see some storms, and toward Del Rio as well. Del Rio, your window for storms is around 10 to 11 p.m. And then by midnight, that's when it's going to start to get noisy around San Antonio. We'll have some severe thunderstorm warnings probably out there for damaging wind gusts of up to 60 to 70 miles per hour. This is a look at 3 o'clock in the morning. It could still be storming around San Antonio. Within these storms, there could be a few isolated pockets of hail as well, up to the size of quarters. Again, it's going to be a noisy night, so if you're a light sleeper or if you have friends and family who are light sleepers, it's going to be a very noisy night. We'll be live on the KSAT Weather Authority app as storms move through, and if need be, we'll be live on air as well. As we take a look toward Friday morning, this is a snapshot at 7 o'clock. We'll have some lingering showers and some lingering storms as well for the early morning commute on Friday. But by mid-morning, the rain will be done and we'll be left with the cold. That's the next impact. Friday. Grab the jacket. It's going to be windy and cold in the morning. Gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Wind chills up to 30 degrees. So you can see here in the futurecast, this is Friday at about 6 o'clock in the morning, we could have wind gusts from the north up to 40 miles per hour while temperatures are plummeting. So the wind chills on Friday morning could be as low as in the 20s up in the hill country and near 30s here in San Antonio. By the way, we are not going to see temperatures get to freezing. This is just the wind chill, what it feels like. So there's no need to worry about your pipes or even your plants for that matter, because temperatures are going to be above freezing. But it is going to be a long stretch of colder weather from Friday into Monday of next week. Spring officially starts on Monday and the high is going to be 47. So we're going to have another shot of cold air. That's why it's going to be extended cold for an extended period of time. Sunday we'll see additional rain, and on Monday there is even the potential up in the hill country for a few flakes. It's going to be all cold rain here in San Antonio, but that's the last impactful weather here. 40s and damp on Sunday and Monday, rain in San Antonio, a few flakes in the hill country, but the thing is we'll all be above freezing, so no ice impacts. We will not need to worry about any kind of impacts from any ice. It's mainly just going to be a chunky rain up in the hill country with a few flakes possible.
Okay, we'll take it.
Let's take it down to the AT&T Center. Believe it or not, the Spurs are actually starting to run out of home games.
Yeah, and their game is in 1 hour and 10 minutes. Our Larry Ramirez joins us live from the AT&T Center with a preview.
And guys, you know what? If you're coming down here to see Kyrie and Luka of the Dallas Mavericks, you're going to be sad because they're not playing tonight due to injuries. A handful of Spurs are not playing tonight as well, including Jeremy Sohan, who led the offensive attack last night against the Magic. Jeremy just continues to score at will. Plus, Wagner alum Jalen Jackson was nearly perfect at the line for the Islanders, and it certainly helped them advance. Coming up.
Probably a first. I can't think of any high school or middle school game where I've done that. So yeah, that's a first. And I'm glad I was able to do it because it helped us get the win.
3 fouls. Senior guard Jalen Jackson made more free throws than the Red Hawks as a team to help the Islanders survive and advance in big board sports. Good evening, everybody, and welcome live to the AT&T Center where the Spurs and Mavericks are getting ready to play some basketball tonight. Now, this marks the Spurs' second to last set of back-to-back games this season. Let's talk about last night for a minute, shall we? The Spurs were on fire, making a franchise-high 22 three-pointers to go with a season-high 39 assists in their 132-114 win against the Orlando Magic right here at the AT&T Center. Doug McDermott went 5 for 8 from downtown to score 15 points off the bench. KBD sank 4 of his 6 three-point tries, while Zach Collins and Jeremy Sohan were next in line with 3 each. Devin Vassell even chipped in with one of those 22 threes on what turned out to be a great night of shooting for the Silver and Black.
We was moving the ball a lot. Coach caught a lot of flow. We were moving the ball, changing side to side, and I think we got to the paint a lot and got a lot of open shots, especially for Doug. Doug got a lot of kick-out threes and stuff like that, and that's just kind of how we got to play. I mean, that's really the Spurs way. It's just, moving the ball and getting a great shot. So that's what we did tonight.
Jeremy Sohan continues to shine on the offensive end. He scored a game-high 29 points and grabbed the game-best 11 rebounds last night for his second double-double this month. The Rook was asked if he's catching people off guard with his ability to score.
Like you said, no one really expected it, but I think, I feel like I just fit in roles. And in Baylor, my role wasn't to score. It was to, be that energy guy, be able to do everything on the floor, and just be energy, really. So I think, I got an opportunity from the start here, and I think I've just grown into it, and, I've been able to showcase what I can do. So, yeah.
Jeremy won't show off his offensive skills tonight, though, because he's out due to a right knee injury management. Zach Collins, Devin Vassell, Malachi Branham, and Charles Bassey will sit out as well. Mavs and Spurs will play tonight at 7:30. The NCAA men's basketball tournament tipped off last night with the first 4, and a young San Antonio man picked a great time to bust out a personal record. I'm talking about Wagner great Jalen Jackson, who scored a career-high 22 points to lead Texas A&M Corpus Christi Islanders past Southeast Missouri State 75-71 last night in Dayton, Ohio. Jackson was stone cold at the charity stripe, making 14 of his 18 free throws. The Redhawks only made 9 free throws as a team.
During our halftime talk, coach was just like, keep putting pressure on them, get to the rim, and make the refs call a foul or finish. So that's what the second half plan was. So that's what we came out and did and executed.
A&M Corpus Christi advances to play number 1 Alabama at 1:45 p.m. tomorrow in Birmingham, Alabama. And in some NFL news, the Dallas Cowboys have released running back Ezekiel Elliott after 7 seasons with the team. Team owner Jerry Jones said in a statement, "This is one of the toughest parts of operating a team." So that means Zeke is now a free agent and he can sign with another squad. Guys, back to you in the studio.
That's going to be weird if he's not with the Cowboys next year.
We'll see what happens.
Very strange. They might get him back. You never know.
Thank you. Now, the conversation about the recent bank failures really isn't going away anytime soon, because now the Justice Department is opening up its own investigation. And guess what they're looking at? Executive bonuses.
And California just can't catch a break these days. The state continues getting hammered by extreme weather. What rescue teams and officials are doing to help months into the storm. Millions of people are under severe weather alerts as an atmospheric river continues to deliver devastating rainfall, floods, high winds, mudslides, and snow to California.
Now, we're still talking about California. The governor there, Gavin Newsom, is meeting with officials and also surveying some of the storm damage firsthand.
Mike Valero is in Ventura, California, where entire communities have been overrun by floodwaters.
It's just really horrible to watch people's lives just washed out.
An 11th atmospheric river system barely giving Californians a chance to catch their breath.
We weren't expecting it to be as bad as we're seeing it.
Most of the state, millions of people under a state of emergency Wednesday.
The flash flood came in and just took out things from people's yards, kids' toys, our garden. Everything is just down under Santa Ana now.
Our worst nightmare came true. We had failure at the levee.
Engineers made progress shoring up the Pajaro River levee breach Tuesday night, but not before floodwaters ravaged hundreds of homes. More than 2,000 people have been evacuated, says Monterey County Sheriff.
There it goes. Oh, my God. Oh.
In Northern California, high winds toppled trees and power lines.
Anyway, There goes my neighbor's house.
More than 180,000 homes knocked offline statewide, says Power Outage US.
We have heard reports of people seeing things flying through San Francisco.
Gusts so strong, they blew windows out of this San Francisco high-rise.
It's glass.
The building was like shaking a little bit.
Another threat in higher elevations, mudslides, like the one that crashed into this home in Placer County.
They described that a tree came through one of their windows and then it sounded like a train hitting their house.
This storm is expected to move out by Thursday, but forecasters say another is right behind it early next week. In Ventura County, California, I'm Mike Valerio.
Now, depositors and small business owners still in shock days after the Silicon Valley Bank failed. Now, the Justice Department and the Securities Exchange Commission are conducting two separate investigations into what led to the bank's collapse. They also want to know if company executives saw this coming. Sources told ABC News that the probes are just getting started. Still too early to tell if there's been any criminal wrongdoing. Silicon Valley Bank is also being scrutinized by the Federal Reserve in another investigation that's focusing on the bank's oversight. Meanwhile, Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren is demanding that Fed Chair Jerome Powell recuse himself, criticizing his policies in allowing banks to profit off of risky investments.
I opposed him for specifically the reason that he was too light on regulations.
Now, Warren's also introducing a bill to restore stricter Obama-era bank regulations repealed during the Trump administration. Republicans in Congress, however, place the blame specifically on the leadership of Silicon Valley Bank and also signature banks for their own failures.
The special prosecutor in New Mexico who brought charges against actor Alec Baldwin is stepping aside. Baldwin, one of two people charged in the deadly shooting on the set of the movie Rust. Andrea Reeb released a statement that says, in part, her priority in this case has been justice for the victim. Cinematographer Helena Hutchins, Baldwin's lawyer, filed a motion in court last month to have Reeb removed from the case. The legal filing argued she should be disqualified because she is also in the New Mexico House of Representatives.
Now, the search is on for a multi-million-dollar drone that crashed in the Black Sea after it collided with two Russian fighter jets. According to Air Force officials, the jets made 19 passes at high speed by the surveillance drone over the Black Sea and international airspace. Those jets also spraying it with fuel multiple times. Now, eventually, one jet flying vertically towards the drone hit its rear propeller and bent it. The U.S. is now guided the drone away into the sea.
This hazardous episode is a part of a pattern of aggressive and risky and unsafe actions by Russian pilots in international airspace. So make no mistake, the United States will continue to fly and to operate wherever international law allows.
So the Russians are claiming the drone was flying southwest of the Crimean Peninsula towards Russia's border, and it crashed because of sharp maneuvering. Also, that the Russian jets never came into physical contact with the drone.
Back here in Florida, the SpaceX Dragon blasting off from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida last night. The spacecraft headed to the International Space Station with supplies and experiments on board. According to NASA, some of the experiments include one aimed to help create new therapies for cardiac dysfunction back here on Earth, and another designed by high school students. It'll keep cameras steady while tracking targets on the ground or from inside the International Space Station. The Dragon capsule is expected back tomorrow morning. Taking around Texas now, the first hearing happening today in the case of an abortion pill lawsuit that could pose a threat to the national-wide availability of the popular medication. The hearing is being heard in Amarillo, where the courthouse was met with protesters. A conservative Christian group is hoping to reserve the federal approval of the drug. The judge did not make a decision today, but says he plans to do so soon. According to the FDA, the medication is the most common form of abortion.
State education officials in Texas are taking over the Houston Independent School District. Leaders of that school district got letters informing them about the temporary takeover. This comes after reports of repeated failures and also years of low grades from students across multiple schools in that district. So now the state is planning to create a board of managers to turn the district back over to the Board of Trustees as soon as possible. However, that's only if education conditions in that district improve.
And we first told you about this story yesterday. 3 teens accused of stealing horses and then getting in a crash with a car. 1 teen died, 2 others were injured. The owner of those stolen horses says he recognized they were his when he was watching the news. Dallas police say in the last few weeks in southern Dallas County, 10 horses have been stolen. All but 1 had been found up until this recent crash. That crash left one of the horses dead at the scene. Another had to be euthanized, but a third is expected to survive.
These horses never been ridden, and they took this horse saddle and rode them from here to wherever they got injured at.
Stealing a horse in Texas is a 3rd-degree felony, punishable by up to 10 years in prison, along with a $10,000 fine because of the cost of horses and because some people make a living off of the horses.
Still ahead, the potential of what's to come at Hemisphere Park is big. We'll discuss the plans already in place to benefit one particular community.
And the data shows this year might be the biggest for plane mishaps. Now the FAA is bringing people in to answer the question of what has changed. We've got the highlights from the safety hearing